Of all the inventions and innovations of the past century, there are few, if any, that have impacted humanity as a whole more than the Internet. The ability to access, transfer, and provide information in many different forms, like videos, images, texts, music, at extremely high speed, have changed the way we view the world, and even the way we interact with people and objects we encounter in our daily lives. The Internet represents both danger and freedom for the human race due to the fact that this last quality of Internet supports an essential human right. This man's creation should not be privatized by any specific body. Yet, when handling a tool with so much power and potential, some ethical and moral questions are bound to arise. Unrestricted access to all kinds of information can be, and in fact, it has proven to be a double-edged sword. While it certainly facilitates tasks such as learning, worldwide solidarity, and spreading of important news, it can also be used for gruesome ends such as virtual money robbery and violation of privacy.
There are some allegedly positive aspects of controlling the Internet. For instance, a governing body could stop the spreading of misinformation and control garbage information. There have been cases where collaborative web pages in which anyone can contribute, such as Taringa and Wikipedia, users have uploaded false information that confuses and even endangers the readers. For example, there were fake chemical experiments uploaded in Taringa, which could have led to the poisoning and even death of those who attempted them. Fake news also represent a social issue. They make it hard for viewers to find trustworthy information in a medium inundated with both false and factual data. A centralized power could mean that security issues could be reduced if all users were watched. Governments and other agencies could monitor criminal and terrorist activity to prevent attacks on users or large organizations that could result in privacy breaches and even threats to human lives or monetary losses, like what happened with PlayStation Network in 2011, when hackers attacked Sony's servers and extracted the banking information of a large amount of users. By monitoring users, we could also avoid child pornography from spreading all over the world at the alarming rate it does today. This would ensure children's rights. Along the same lines, cyberbullying could be avoided, which would ensure the safety of the younger generations when accessing the web. There is also a notion that says that not all information should be available to the general public. For instance, if a government such as Peña Nieto's were to freely release information, or if information was leaked that linked the Mexican police to the murders and disappearances that occurred in Ayotzinapa, serious disturbances and even a civil war could break out. By controlling and monitoring the information that is available on the Internet, governments or other governing bodies could ensure that the general public is kept at relative peace.
Information should be free for all to access and post. People will learn how to differentiate between good and bad information as time goes on. We believe that as new generations become accustomed to being bombarded with all kinds of new information, we will acquire the ability to exploit this resource and its most positive state. Therefore, less regulations will be needed to protect users. Unfortunately, such freedom of access implies that the information people will be exposed to could be either real or false. Nonetheless, people are responsible for determining its veracity and depending into their topics of interest in order to determine the validity. These aspects of all Internet perfectly emulates a real-life scenario. It is even giving people the opportunity to better analyze the data that is given to them, instead of allowing themselves to be mindlessly influenced by it. For another reason, sites could be closed for not being suitable or valid for the organization controlling the Internet. Censorship could become, in its most extreme use, the way to enclose people's right of speech. Also, privacy issues. Government or agencies accessing users' private information. Blackmail using a person's private Internet life. The fact that an entity has the right to rule Internet information means that anything uploaded to the web will have to pass through that entity. If there was a case where some personal information that someone would like to keep in secret leaked to the web, this information could be used by a corrupt authority to manipulate that person. Insurance companies may take advantage of the information to renew their politics in order to always win. Imagine there is a person with a long-life family predisposed to cancer, and that all evidence is kept in his/her social media. If the insurance companies were able to gather this type of information, maybe their strategy of life care plans would be changed for their convenience. Manipulation of information to suit government agency needs. Virtual learning experiences are perhaps the strongest quality of the web that no one can deny nowadays. It has become a door for people who normally wouldn't be educated to have an opportunity to study.
Who will be the one chosen to control the Internet? Government? Policemen? A global association? Who ensures this will be a trustful organization and will use censorship and privacy violation to provide safety and all the pros it claims?
We must make fair use of the Internet and reap the benefits inherent to it, but we should also report any abnormal web page behavior to the appropriate authorities. This is the only way we can prove that no limiting legislations are needed and that the Internet should not be ruled by anyone other than its users.